back here at Prudential Center as the Devils defeat Nashville 3-2 in overtime. Everyone says, mostly coaches and players, it's not a must-win unless it determines elimination or advancement. But these games now for the Devils are pretty much must-win given their circumstances.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, Matty, the must-win is something we use, but if it's like the final weekend, there's the final game, and they have to win to get in or not, that's a must-win. But we like to use that because you got to gain some momentum and find ways to get that W to even stay pace. You know, the Islanders won tonight, so the Devils trying to catch them. They couldn't lose, and they didn't. So that's what this game really means.
Stay in contact. Devils 7 points behind the Islanders, who are third in the Metropolitan Division. And, of course, the Devils will end the pre-Olympic portion of the schedule by playing the Islanders here at Prudential Center. But it's about the win tonight, and then they only can control what they do against Ottawa on Saturday. And, you know, we admit it's not must-win until it's elimination, but pretty darn important. Downstairs we go. Brett Pesce joins us, and Brett, you might have heard what we were just talking about a second ago, which is, you know, we as broadcasters and fans like to talk about must-wins. It's not so unless you're eliminated. I get that, or it guarantees your advancement, but pretty darn important. What was the importance of tonight's game to you?
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of feels like every game is turned into a do or die here, so you know, we're just obviously we know there's I think 3 games till break. Kind of need to win them all, to be honest. So, but just taking it day by day is a huge win. You know, we felt good about our game tonight, kind of how we played on the road. So hopefully we can carry that momentum to Ottawa.
So many little twists and turns, but one of the big things tonight, and you could tell me, the team got a lot of shots in the first period, right? Brett, they seem like, okay, let's start filling. You ended up with 35 shots. I like that. So was that a concentrated effort?
Yeah, we talked
really?
a little bit about it.
Okay.
Yeah, to be honest, you know, I thought our D did a good job of just kind of getting pucks through. You know, you never know what happens down there. It's chaos when you just get a puck in there. So, yeah, I just think the more shots on goal, the better the odds are. You're going to get a crazy rebound. So I thought we did a good job of that tonight.
Devils with the big win as they defeat Nashville in overtime by a score of 3-2. Shortened bench because of the injury to Jack Hughes. The new guy didn't play all that much after the first period. No one's going to turn down ice time. I get that. But what's it like when you're on the bench and you lose, you know, one of your leaders in Jack Hughes? What's the conversation, or do you just play and wait for your number to be called?
Yeah. No, everyone knows. You know, we understand I'm not, honestly, I have no idea what the injury is. Hopefully it's not too bad, but you know, he's one of our best players and a game changer. You know, whenever you lose a guy like that, it's tough, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of a next man up mentality. Like, no matter who's in, we know we got to win games here, and you know, it doesn't really matter who's in the lineup. We gotta play the right way and just kind of outwork the other team every night. Well,
you do outwork the team the other night, but sometimes you don't win. I mean, everybody says they got to play 60 minutes. I never see it in any game.
Yeah.
But you know what, Brett? Like, the guys are aware to help you back check. I mean, sometimes, like, your stick went flying out of your hand. It wasn't your fault. But I just want the fans to know the mistakes aren't because the guys aren't ready to play. They're not thinking. The other team's good, but the support from the other players, has it been there? Like tonight, was it there, the back checking and all those kinds of things?
Yeah, you know, it's never a lack of effort. That's
right.
You know, if whoever's listening, that's for sure. You know, at the end of the day, the other team gets paid too, right? They got guys making a bunch of money, so.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought tonight was better. You know, whenever we have a heavy back check from our forwards, you know, for me personally, it just gives me so much confidence to be aggressive and, you know, make them turn it over at our blue line, hold our blue line so they can't kind of come in with possession. You know, we've been harping on that. You know, we have we have one of the faster forward groups in the league. So, you know, when they decide they want a back check, it makes a huge difference for the D-men.
That's a great point, you know, because it is about team, and we always say that, supporting each other.
Yep.
But every team says they're a close group, right? But we travel a little bit with you. Like, this team seems to get what it needs to do. It's just really difficult to do it sometimes.
Yeah, it's a special group off the ice. I mean, we're all so close, playing, I generally feel like I can go to dinner with any guy on the team and be comfortable and have a great dinner with them, right? So that's it's rare to find that. There's still a lot of belief in this room. There's still, I don't know, almost 30 games, whatever it is, mid-20s. So there's some time, but we gotta get rolling here.
And hopefully it continues against Ottawa. Last couple, and we'll let you go. First off, how many stitches did you get on that bang along the boards?
6, so not too bad.
No, not too bad.
Yep.
A little blood and a little bit of a black eye, but not too bad. And the other thing is, Johnny Kovacevic, one of your defense running mates. So let's see, he goes after Connor McDavid in Edmonton, and then he doesn't like Steven Stamkos with that late shot on the whistle. Who's he going to pick on next?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. He's a big boy. I wouldn't mess with him, that's for sure.
But the other thing is, if you're going to be hard to play against, don't you think the team, maybe you think there's enough. I don't know. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, Brett, but physical play at the right time, does it not discourage the other team a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. When we're kind of all together in a unison, especially, something like that. I don't know if Stamkos heard the whistle, whatever. It didn't matter. He shot the puck after the whistle. So just a response like that can kind of get even just your bench kind of motivated when you see, one of our guys going after one of their top players, not caring who it is.
Well, good stuff all around. We will let you get into the room. Brett, thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brett.
Brett Pesce joining us tonight. And, we always get good insight. You have great questions. It brings out the best in our guests. And, when people hear, back check, why is that important? And, why aren't you aggressive some points? And, I thought he talked about it when the forwards back check. And he kind of gave him a little shot. I don't know if he meant his words exactly when they decide to use their speed and back check. But at any rate, when they do, it gives you more freedom, more confidence, more comfortability.
But he's not giving them a shot. It's like sometimes they back check and sometimes they don't. But on teams that win, there are always guys that stood up and reiterated some of the stuff that's got to be done. Hey, you got to start doing that. And if that's not part of it, and I know he's kind of quiet, but that back checking, when he said, boy, does it give you confidence, Maddie, I'm thinking that's what the players got to hear. And they know it, but just some nights it happens. But as we go forward and we're talking about being consistent, playing 60 minutes, that's what we're talking about. We're not just talking about casual, board battles. Yeah, I'd sooner lose a board battle than a guy coming up the ice 2-on-1, 3-on-2. We've seen some of those goals scored. And so he's just reiterating don't talk about it, but they like to because they have to. But don't talk about it unless you do it. And tonight the back checking was terrific.
Devils win in overtime 3-2. Nico Hischier with the game-winning goal. And right now he's out with his fellow Swiss natives Timo Meier and Jonas Siegenthaler are on the ice. It's Swiss night here at Prudential Center, and so how sweet it is that Hischier has the game-winning goal, and the three of them are out there with a big group of fans to our right, so you'll hear some of their cheers as their little celebration goes on. We'll have more from the Devils dressing room, but first let's check the highlights of tonight's game. Devils trying to end a 2-game losing streak. Dougie Hamilton with an early blast. Now Hamilton with a blast, blocked away by Onanen. As Dougie had 5 shots tonight, he was not the team leader. 7 came from Nico Hischier, but once again, Dougie Hamilton involved.
Yeah, I would say he was involved. He scored a goal, and, well, he played on the other side of goal scoring, which resulted in one for Nashville. But you know what, Maddie, all I know is I watch him. He's involved.
Sometimes the breaks go against you. Sometimes they go your way. In this case, the break went the Devils' way. And now it's the Nashville Predators in the neutral zone. Nick Blankenburg drives it in. Now a loose puck. Oh, it's sent off the post near side. Took a weird hop out front. Markstrom had not yet gotten fully back to the net. Oh, and O'Reilly plays it off the near post. Break for the Devils. And you say thank you very much.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a big part of the game.
But as the first period went on, Michael McCarron was able to come up with the first goal of the night. Siplakov chips at it, can't get it past the man at the point, Nick Perbix. Now here's Marchessault, wrap around, try, they score! He was stopped the first time, he put it home on the second try, and just seconds after the post saved the Devils, Nashville strikes first. Devils looked at it, they called a timeout to decide whether they should challenge for, I guess, goaltender interference. We thought the puck went in by Marchessault's drive on the rebound, but they've still credited it to McCarron, so I guess it's going to be McCarron's goal, his third of the season.
Yeah, and it put the Devils in a tough spot, but they responded well.
Devils down 1-0 after one period of play. Into the second, Lenni Hameenaho with a chance. Hischier takes it away. Hameenaho is denied. Penalty coming up as the stick was knocked out of his hands. And they're going to call it a slash, and the Devils will have the first power play of the game. That came in the second period. Adam Wilsby called for the slash, but the Devils' power play went 0 for 3 tonight. Anything you saw?
No, I mean, they had some chances, but, you know, power plays, they come and go, and they got to hit something, a rebound, a great shot. But I thought they moved the puck okay. I wish they would have been able to shoot a little more, yeah.
Jack Hughes not playing most of this game. We hope to have some kind of an update when we hear from Sheldon Keefe. Jack played just 3 shifts in the first and left.
And none of those power plays, right? Did he play the first one?
No.
So, you know, that was part of it. You were asking me about the power play, yeah.
So the Devils are down 1-0 to Nashville as we continue highlights from the second period. And Dougie Hamilton, who had an 8-game point scoring streak coming in, will leave with a 9-game streak. Bunting is blocked away, and here comes Gritsuk. Across the line, finds Hameenaho, cuts to his right, gives it to Hamilton, and DB scores! Dougie Hamilton! He's got the hot hand, it gets hotter, the Devils have tied it at 1. Now 9 straight games with the point, 11 overall in that span, and actually he had an assist in his last game played before the healthy scratch. Because he was scratched, they don't add that to his consecutive point scoring streak, but good for Dougie Hamilton and good for the New Jersey Devils who tied it 1, Chico.
Well, what did I say, Matty? It's not about the shots. Is it the accuracy? That baby's up under the crossbar. And Nico Hischier, we're going to get there. It's the accuracy of the shots that count. And Dougie started it going by making a great slapper, one of his best shots of the year, and it paid dividends.
And also credit Lenni Hameenaho and Arseni Gritsuk
yes.
With 2 great plays to set up Dougie.
Hey, you know, that's a great point, Matty. You think unassisted goals. No, most of them are come with assists, some of them lucky assists, but there were just 2 great executions by those 2 you mentioned and then finished off by the hammer on Hamilton's shot.
When Steven Stamkos' career is done and he waits the required time, he's going directly to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Yeah. There's no question about that. And Jacob Markstrom, though, said, I don't care about that. Oh, he's going to have a chance in front. Oh! What a save by Markstrom. Puck loose in the crease. Oh, he faked. He didn't go with the blast. He faked. That put Markstrom off balance a little bit, but he still got a glove on it as a drive by Forsberg goes off the glass. I thought that was a sure goal. I think everybody did, and it's usually the blast from Stamkos, but boy, that time he showed some patience, maybe needed a little bit more.
Yeah, but everybody thought it was a goal, but the second effort by Markstrom, oh my, to throw that glove up. He was wide open in a lot of ways, but he kind of knew that Stamkos likes to go high in that situation, so he got his glove up a little bit, and just, I think Matty made the turning point save of the game.
It was terrific. Kept the game at 1. Later on, he decided, I'm not going to use the glove. I'm not going to use the pads. I'm going to use my stick. Good work, but now Nashville with a chance. Save by Markstrom on Evangelista. Forsberg with a step. Moves in with a shot fought off by Markstrom. Wow, what a game he's played, particularly here in the second period. Well, my mistake. I thought we were going to have the poke check, but he did make that beautiful poke check on Evangelista. And so combine all that he did in the second period, it was just a terrific 20 minutes for the Devils goalie.
Well, here's the difference. Markstrom used the poke check, right? When Bratt scored, their goaltender did not use the poke. I look at it, Matty. If he used the poke check, Bratt's not scoring. But that's the difference between Markstrom. He's got that extra special weapon.
So we will have more highlights, but first let's hear from the head coach.
In terms of length of time or his availability for the road trip or the trip to Ottawa, we'll determine that tomorrow.
That aside, obviously, I want to go to the beginning of the third period and where Nashville scores early. I want to know your feeling of the response from your team to continue grinding it out, not folding, kind of just keep pushing the pace, and what you saw as a response in particular.
Well, I think it was reflective of our response through the whole game. I mean, you lose Jack as early as we did. One, we know what Jack's influence is on our team and on the game, but also you got to play basically the whole game, down a man and down another center in particular. Obviously already without Glasser, so it was gonna be tough. It was gonna be a grind the rest of the way. So, and I thought, we handled that very well. I'm proud of the guys today, how they stuck with it. Found a way to make sure that thing got to overtime. We knew it was going to be it was going to have to be a tough, tight hockey game. We talked about being confident and comfortable in that situation. Really all of our wins the last stretch here have been just like this, trying to find a way to get our 2 points. So, yeah, it was a great effort.
That second point comes off of Nico's stick, and he was saying in the locker room, maybe a little bit of a risky play, hung on to it a little bit too long, and if I didn't get that goal, I think Coach would have been pretty mad at me on that play. And from your smile, I guess you just yours.
Yeah, I mean, you don't love shots from distance like that, but I mean, he got her down inside the dots or inside the circle, I should say, and I knew what he was doing. But yeah, I kind of. Made a bit of a video game reference. I felt like he was hanging on to the button real long to load up on that one, but put some anger into it too, which is nice. I take the initiative, rip it under the bar, and not much better. You don't see a lot of those in our game these days.
What are you seeing from what Lenni is, slowly starting to become? I know it's very, very early, but he hasn't looked out of place. You've obviously felt comfortable putting him in big situations, playing alongside Nico. He just doesn't look out of place, and that vision that he has is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, he's made, I mean, in every game he's made really multiple plays, but he's made plays like tonight. That obviously unbelievable shot by Dougie, and Dougie's in the perfect spot where we want him to be on that entry, and he rips under the bar, which is excellent, but it doesn't happen without Lenni's ability to kind of, I would say, unlock that play. It's kind of a tricky puck. He's under pressure. The ability to put it in a spot to protect it, get by himself a moment to survey the ice and find Dougie, put it on the tape. That's elite stuff. That's what we need. We need that. We need those kind of plays. We're talking about generating offense and scoring goals. It takes a play like that to unlock the play and give us a better shot, make it harder on the goalie who has to now, go from Gritsuk to Lenni, then on to Dougie. And I don't know if it was Nico. I think it was Nico driving the net as well. So, there's lots going on in that situation. But Lenni unlocked it, turned it in from just a plain old entry to something where, it was dangerous. So, capitalized on Dougie being in the right spot. But, it's just that's the type of play we need more of. And Lenni, he's made those. He's looked, I just talked about our team being confident and comfortable in tight games. He's looked confident and comfortable in the NHL.
Sheldon, are you able to reveal upper or lower body for Jack?
Lower body for Jack, yeah.
Siblikov's first night, just what did you see from him?
Tough night for him. I mean, I thought I liked some things in the first period. He looked like he was involved, trying to be physical, and once we lost Jack, it's a mishmash back there. I tried to, in the first period, I tried to just kind of juggle everyone and try to keep everybody going and utilize our 11 forwards and move everybody around. I don't like to do that. I don't think it's sustainable for 3 periods. It's kind of chaotic on the bench, and you have to double guys up who, are playing out of position, all these kind of things. Made the decision from the second period on to just really kind of focus on 9 forwards and spot the others around. So, he gets lost in that shuffle a little bit. So he didn't get nearly the opportunity I was hoping to give him here today. But just kind of the circumstances. Once we lost Jack, all bets are kind of off. I got to try to move some things around there. Thanks.
11 shifts for Maxim Siplikov in his Devils debut. But I love the way Sheldon talked about Lenni Hameenaho's play, and you described it when that goal was scored. We talked about it when we played back the highlight. He's only 21 years of age. He's barely in the NHL. It's not like he spent a couple of years here. He's only a handful of games, and yet that was just a smart but simple play.
Yeah, well, it was simple, but, Matty, it was a hockey sense play that unlocked it. Simple plays sometimes unlock. I like to use that unlocking. But to set up a really gorgeous scoring chance, it's got to be a little more than just the simple play. It's got to be something special. You were describing it, and it was something more than just average. And like you say, he's 21. I think he's going to do we are so fortunate to find him and Gritsuk. Those two guys, Matty, after the break, they can grow into something special. At least that's what you and I are hoping. And we saw it on that one goal tonight.
Hameenaho playing his 6th game since coming up from Utica, picking up an assist on the Hamilton goal. He now has 4 points and showing smarts and defensive play. He came back, I think it was on Pesce. Pesce drove between the circles for an offensive chance. He talked about back checking and guys getting back. And where was Hameenaho back to break up a play?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I mean, like you were talking about Bert Marshall, and when you're scouting, you want to see, do they play the whole game? Obviously in the offensive zone, but what do they do in the neutral zone? On the back check? Like, he's as intense to stop a goal as he is to score one, and that's what I like.
So we'll go back to the highlights, and the Devils and the Nashville Predators found themselves in a 1-1 game going into the third, but Philip Forsberg off a Dougie Hamilton turnover, and yeah, you heard Amanda Stein and speaking with Sheldon Keefe that Nico Hischier took some of the blame too, but it was Hamilton who passed the puck under some duress right up the middle of the ice. It was picked off by Adam Wilsby, and he handed it to Forsberg, who scored his 20th of the season. Devils could have just said, oh, it's going to be one of those nights we can't score goals. They know they have to score 3, which has been a tough number to get to, but they were able to do that thanks to a turnover on Nashville's part. Mercer after a loose puck in the Nashville end. It's poked around for Brett. Goes cross ice. He was looking for Mercer, but it was intercepted by Wilsby. Nashville can't clear. Good work by the Devils. Brett all alone in front, and he scores! Patience. He stick-handled, waited for Annanen to go down. He lifted it bar down, and we are tied at 2. I've never played at this level, just in case you haven't noticed. You have, but not as a forward.
No.
Was that difficult for Brett to do, to continue to pull the puck to his left and wait and wait and wait?
Absolutely, Matty. And if you look at it, I looked at it, went up one end. Here's the difference. Annanen, that's the time you attack. But if you're just going to let Brett go across slowly, but still, Matty, you're right. He could do it too quick. You talked about his patience. And he knew that when he got to where he wanted to, it had to go up. It couldn't just be low on the ice or pads high. And he did it. And, boy, we talk about, him scoring on, well, we haven't had shootouts, but on dekes and whatever. I just think that's going to go a long way to be a confidence builder for Jesper Bratt.
13th goal of the season for Bratt. It comes at 10:42. No team scores the rest of the way. And by the way, Nashville came out in the first 5 minutes. It was their game. They scored the goal. They had, I think, the first 6 or 7 shots on goal. They only ended with 8 in the period, and the Devils came back with 9, including Bratt's, in the third period. So give the Devils some credit for settling down. And so we would go to the extra session to determine who would win this game. And it didn't take long before we had the play of the game, brought to you by Prudential, the Devils' official financial services partner. Here comes Hischier across the line, slap shot, he scores! Long distance drive, it hits some iron. The Devils celebrate the victory 42 seconds into overtime. A huge victory for the Devils tonight. And that was the play of the game brought to you by Prudential, the Devils' official financial services partner. Jack Hughes, before he left, had a big-time slap shot from inside the blue line.
Oh, yeah.
And Nico Hischier, this was a little closer, but old-school slap shot for the game-winning goal.
And that's why you have to look at Yossi's back. There's no other Devil. He could have went and charged Nico, but he's letting him go. Then the goalie's thinking, is he going to shoot it? Because usually they don't. He's back. And I watched. It was like a slap shot in practice, Matty. He had that much time. He pushed it. He could gauge it. And when he ripped that thing, Swiss Knight might have had something to do with it, but boy, did he nail it. And, Matty, we've talked about him in the past. There's been games where he has been the difference maker, and he was again tonight.
And, of course, he was available, as always, to speak with the media, and here's what he had to say.
It was a risky one.
All right, let's start there then. A risky one. So what did you sort of see unfold there, and what was going through your head?
Just took my chance, I guess. I think in overtime we just got the puck back, so I think that's definitely a risky shot. But I saw kind of the D wasn't really gapping up on me, and I took the chances. So luckily went in. If not, I think coach wouldn't be happy at all. So
what did you like most maybe about the response from last game? I know there was so much disappointment in this room from last game, and just sort of coming out and sticking to what you always talk about is that process, no matter where the scoreline was.
It was a grindy win tonight. Twice they scored first, and we come back from that, and that shows that we're doing the right things. We're working and get paid off, and we got to keep doing that. And it was a intense game tonight.
At one point, Lenni was moved up onto your line. We've seen so many, great things from him. What are you seeing from such a young talent, sort of coming in and being a difference maker?
Just very smart player. Very smart player. Reads the eyes very well. Is in the right spot, makes the right plays, and that's what he's about in this league. It goes so fast. If you can slow down the game and make those reads and make the right plays at the right time, it's a hard thing to do, but he's doing that very well.
I know you're talking about how, it was a risky shot in overtime for you, but when you get to overtime, how important is that moment for your team right now? Just knowing where you guys are in the standings, how many games left before this break?
I mean, even overtime, it's an important point, but then after we know we need another point, and every game matters for us. It's just reality, and next game's the importance.
And that is the captain, Nico Hischier. And I apologize to the captain. He was talking, when Amanda asked Sheldon about the risky play, she was talking about the shot, not the play that led to Forsberg's goal. So I apologize.
No, and that's fine, Matt. But it's not a risky play. No, he's going to say it. And because that's how the press brought it up. Here's why it's not risky. Where were his other two players? Now, if he was up on a 3-on-1, that's risky. He knows he's got the two guys, his two teammates backing him up. He knows that Forsberg, who gave it away, he's dead tired. O'Reilly's dead tired. It's not risky because it wasn't a rush play, all or nothing. He says remember he said, Yossi's not coming over. Oh, he's going to let me hammer this. And we talked about Bobby Hull. We talked about Steve Stamkos, and that was out of that playbook. So, to me, it was well thought out, but he's going to play the cards that, it was risky, but it really wasn't because he had two guys back. He was fine.
The Devils will take it, of course, and, Stamkos noted big-time one-timer, 21st in NHL history in goals scored. Didn't add to his total. He will before the season is over. He's only 3 away from Bobby Hull, who's in 19th place in between Dino Ciccarelli. But Bobby Hull just will hold on to that spot 19th for only a little longer as Steven Stamkos will pass him by. Lenni Hameenaho had his own personal cheering section tonight. Mom and Dad made the trip from Finland. His girlfriend was in tow along with his sister, and he talked to the media after the game.
Lenni, we were just talking to Nico, and he just says, you're such a smart player. You fit in really well. What have you sort of enjoyed from the experience so far and being able to contribute the way that you have?
Yeah, I think it's been obviously really, really nice to be here. I think the team teammates been awesome, and yeah, I feel like it's good to play with good players. So I have enjoyed that.
What did you see on that moment where you were able to get that puck to Dougie?
Yeah, I don't know. I just got the puck from the I think from Gritzy, and then I started to think about shooting, but then I saw Dougie coming from the back, so I just thought that maybe I should pass to him. He has a pretty good shot, so it was a good choice.
What was it like to have your family here for the first time to see you play?
Yeah, it meant obviously a lot for me. They have helped me so much, so it was a big thing for me that they were able to kind of see me playing here.
In just this small sample size of games, what do you think the biggest thing you've learned so far about what it takes at this level?
No, that just needs to be like awake every shift. If you give a little bit space to the players, they're so skilled that it's gonna be like scoring just almost every time. So just needs to be awake every shift you gonna play.
Lenni, just how comfortable are you? I think I know the answer with the results, but how comfortable are you at the NHL level right now?
Yeah, I feel comfortable. I think I have improved my game, and I feel better all the time with the puck and without the puck. And like I said, I feel like it's making my job easier to play such a good guys around. So yeah.
As the coaches have obviously helped you get acclimated here, what has been their message to you in the early going?
No, everyone's just been that try to play your game and don't change kind of anything. Try to be responsible on the D zone, and then just try to play my game on O zone and try to shoot the puck and make plays. So maybe that's been the biggest message.
Thank you, Lenni.
Thank you.
Lenni Hameenaho talking to the media tonight. And before we say goodbye, I just want to point out something that you have said consistently about the benefit of playing in the American Hockey League. We have seen it with Shimon Nemitz and Lenni Hameenaho. He didn't deserve to make the team coming out of camp. He had to go down and learn what life in North America was like in a very good league. He got off to a slow start, but by the time it was all said and done, he was their leading scorer, 21 points, I think, in his last 24 games. And that learning curve is steep, but he needed that time.
Absolutely, Matty, and it happens in every walk of life. All you folks listening, you've had some tough knocks. You've tried to do something, didn't work. You got knocked down. Okay, I got to figure out a better way to do it. Now, if you could do that not under pressure, incredible pressure like the NHL, in the minor leagues, you can try things. But when he talked about the play he made, he says, well, I just did it, and, Dougie Hamilton's coming late. The skilled players, they say, what do you mean? I just do what I do. Yeah, I know, but you're doing something that most players can't think through or don't have the hockey sense to do. So that's what I like about him, Matty. His natural doing that we really see special, to him, no, that's just what I do. So he did it tonight, and he's going to be a great asset. And the other thing I like, Matty, unfortunately with Jack, but we need 2 lines, but you really need 3. And we got 4 kind of balanced lines if Jack's healthy, right? And Glass is in there. So that part of the Devils team has formed up. But, Matty, the other team is going to be desperate. Ottawa, I don't know inside what they're thinking, but that game against the Devils on Saturday, for them, that's almost a must, right?
Oh, it's going to be a big one, no question about it. Ottawa with 57 points, the Devils with 58. Ottawa's played one fewer game, game. And so that's to their advantage. If they can win, Devils will try to stymie that and try to come up with the W's down the stretch here before the Olympic break. As you heard Brett Pesce say, a very important period of time for the New Jersey Devils. And again, that game on Saturday will be heard right here on the Devils Hockey Network.